welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something many of you probably grapple with, getting leads consistently. Without the whole process being super complex or costing an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it's a common struggle.
So, our focus today is MyLeadGenSecret, or MLGS as people call it. We've got some interesting open source research here.
An article from a Philbear, right, by Peter.
Exactly. He's really dug into this platform. Our kind of mission here is to figure out what makes MLGS tick, what makes it different, hopefully give you some clarity if you're looking for leads without the usual stress.
So the core question is, in this really crowded field of lead gen tools, what's MLGS's unique angle?
Let's find out. We're not just skimming the surface here, are we?
No, definitely not. We want to really get into the nuts and bolts based on Peter's work. What's the actual mechanism? What are the potential upsides?
Okay, so let's jump into the first big thing that really stood out from Peter's article, these consistent daily leads. He contrasts it with, the usual stuff like buying solo ads or just grabbing a static email list, one-off purchases.
Yeah, that's a key difference. With a solo ad or a list buy, you get a batch of names, right? And once you've mailed them, well, that's kind of it. You need to go out and spend again to get more prospects.
The well runs dry, basically.
Exactly. But what Peter's research highlights about MLGS is this. Continuous feed. New leads showing up every single day.
Like a tap that's always dripping?
Sort of, yeah. It steadily fills your pool of potential customers, but without needing a big cash injection every time you want more names.
Okay. And Peter gives some numbers, like one account gets you around 3,000 leads a month, but then there's this 200 a day option.
Yeah, if you qualify for that, it doubles it. So 6,000 leads a month from one account.
And the long-term potential, this is where it gets kind of wild. He quotes someone, a longtime user, saying, by the end of year one, you will be emailing 72,000 people a day. Whoa. That kind of organic growth without constantly throwing money at new ads just feels different,
It really does. It shifts the focus maybe from just the immediate cost per lead to the long-term value of building this growing audience.
Which could be huge for smaller businesses or solo folks, right? People who maybe don't have massive ad budgets.
Absolutely. It allows for that sustained growth over time, potentially.
Okay, moving on. Another big feature Peter talks about is the all-in-one email system. It's built right in and can spam compliant.
Yes, exactly. And that's a pretty big deal, especially for beginners.
Why is that?
Well, think about it. If you're new to this, setting up a separate autoresponder like Aweber, GetResponse, those kinds of things, it can be, frankly, a bit daunting.
Right, there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
And another monthly bill.
Precisely. So MLGS kind of bundles it. You get the leads, and you get the tool to email them right there in the same place.
So you can just load up your email and hit send. Turnkey.
Pretty much, yeah. It really streamlines getting that first message out.
Like getting the cake mix and the oven all in one box.
Yeah, something like that.
Though Peter does say you can download the leads if you want to use your own emailer, like MailChimp or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's flexibility.
True, you're not locked in. But that initial ease of use, having it all integrated, that's got to lower the barrier to entry quite a bit.
Yeah, it lets you focus on the message, not the tech setup.
Exactly. Quicker to get started, less getting bogged down in the technical weeds.
Okay, let's talk money, cost effectiveness. Peter makes a pretty strong argument here, about $30 a month for 3,000 leads.
Yeah, which works out to roughly, what, a penny per lead?
A penny? How does that stack up against, the usual ways people get leads?
Oh, it's often dramatically different. Like Peter mentions, buying solo ads, running Google ads, Facebook ads, you could easily be paying, $1, $2, sometimes way more per lead.
So how do they do it? How does MLGS keep the price so low?
Well, Peter points to what the founder, Jim Harmon, says. It's this. Cooperative lead generation model. Co-registration, they call it.
Co-registration, what's that?
Think about when you sign up for something online, maybe a newsletter or a free report. Sometimes you see extra checkboxes, right? Tick here to also hear about related offers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen those.
It's kind of like that. MLGS seems to leverage that process across various websites related to making money online. They gather leads in bulk that way.
So it's volume and that shared opt-in process that drives the cost down. Makes sense.
Seems to be the idea. It allows them to offer volume at a very accessible price point.
Peter also calls it uniquely hands-off. What does he mean by that? Who's that good for?
Well, a lot of lead gen takes constant work, right? Building landing pages, writing ads, split testing, managing campaigns, networking.
Yeah, it can be a full-time job in itself.
Right. But with MLGS, according to Peter's analysis, once you're set up, the effort seems pretty minimal. The leads just arrive every day,
Yeah.
automatically.
You don't have to actively do much to get the leads themselves.
Yeah. Apparently not. No complex funnels to build or ads to manage on your end for the lead delivery part. And he even mentions they offer pre-written emails swipes you can use.
Okay, so that really leans into the newbie-friendly aspect again, or just for people who are maybe short on time.
Exactly. Less active management required compared to building a similar pipeline yourself from scratch. Saves time, saves potentially a lot of upfront cost and effort.
Sounds like it bypasses a lot of the usual grunt work. Now, what about the leads themselves, their quality, their focus? Peter calls them targeted biz op leads.
Yeah, meaning people who've expressed interest in making money online, home businesses, affiliate marketing, that sort of thing.
And he mentions they're mostly tier one, like US based.
Predominantly, yeah. Peter noted around 98% from Tier 1, mostly the US, which is
Yes.
important, right?
Why is that specifically?
Well, that niche focus means they're already kind of pre-qualified. They're looking for the types of things many MLGS users promote. Increases relevance.
And the tier one aspect.
Generally, leads from countries like the US, Canada, UK, Australia. They tend to have more purchasing power and are more familiar with buying things online, including business opportunities.
Okay. And Peter confirms they are permission-based. They actually opted in.
Yes, specifically opted in for business opportunity-related information, according to the research.
What about exclusivity? Are you getting leads no one else has?
That's an interesting point Peter raises. MLGS doesn't make a formal guarantee, but his own testing. He used 5 different accounts. He didn't find any duplicates between his accounts.
Okay.
Now, he does acknowledge some users have reported seeing a few duplicates here and there, but generally in small numbers. The overall feeling seems to be you get a pretty fresh stream.
And you contrast that with solo ads, where lots of marketers might be hitting the same list, the same people over and over.
Exactly. The idea here is a more consistent flow of largely unique, targeted prospects landing in your account daily. Lets you build a relationship, maybe, instead of just shouting into a crowded room.
A fresh opportunity each day. Okay, now, MLGS isn't just about getting leads for your own stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's this affiliate program Peter mentions, 5 levels.
Correct. It's also an income opportunity you can earn by referring other people to MLGS.
How does that work? The levels.
It's multi-tier. You earn a commission not just on people you directly refer, but also on their referrals and so on, down 5 levels deep.
Okay.
Specifically, Peter lays it out. $5 a month for your direct referrals, then $4 for their referrals, your level 2, $3 on level 3, $2 on level 4, and $1 on level 5.
Per person, per month.
Per paid member, per month, yeah. Plus, there's a bonus. Refer 5 paying members in your first week, you get an extra $100 one-time bonus.
Wow, okay, so why does Peter see this as so important?
Because it creates the potential for the platform to pay for itself, or even become profitable.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you refer, just say, 5 or 6 people directly, the 5-month commission from each would cover your own 30-month subscription cost.
Ah, I see. So your leads effectively become free at that point.
Exactly. And anything beyond that, plus earnings from deeper levels, becomes passive income. On top of the leads you're getting daily for your own marketing.
So it's like a built-in funding mechanism for your lead generation. That's quite clever.
It adds a really interesting dimension to the whole proposition, doesn't it?
Definitely. Okay, finally, Peter touches on the platform's history and the community. It's been around since mid-2019.
Yep, so it's not brand new. It's got some years under its belt and apparently a pretty large user base. Lots of people sticking with it long term.
Why is that longevity and the community aspect significant?
Well, in the online marketing space, things pop up and disappear pretty fast, you know?
True. Lots of fly-by-night operations.
So the fact that MLGS has been around for several years, maintained a user base, it suggests it's providing ongoing value. There's stability there.
And the community. Facebook groups, forums.
That provides social proof, right? People sharing results, tips, strategies. It shows it's working for others. And Peter notes some members even run multiple MLGS accounts to scale up their lead flow even faster.
Which implies they're happy enough with one account to want more.
You'd assume so, yeah. It suggests confidence in the system. Peter even included a quote from a veteran member, something like, "I've not seen or found anything else that matches MLGS or even comes close."
High praise.
It highlights that perceived unique combo. The daily leads, the built-in mailer, the 5-level comp plan, all at that specific price.
It definitely paints a picture of something that's found its niche and built some loyalty over time.
Oh.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Based on Peter's research, what are the main things that make MLGS stand out?
I'd say the key things are: one, the low cost per lead, that affordability; two, the automation getting those leads delivered daily without much fuss;
Mm,
three, the convenience of having that email system built right in; four, the specific focus on BizOp leads; and five, that integrated affiliate program that offers a way to make it self-funding.
So putting that all together, who does this seem best suited for, based on these findings?
It really feels like a good fit for people wanting something streamlined, scalable, but without maybe the huge upfront costs or complexity of other methods.
So newcomers, maybe?
Yeah, potentially newcomers who want an easier entry point, but maybe also experienced marketers who want to add another sort of consistent low effort lead source, specifically in that make money online niche.
Right. So for you, the listener, the takeaway seems to be this offers potential access to lead volume and email reach. Things usually associated with bigger budgets or more technical know-how, but maybe in a simpler package.
Exactly. A more accessible framework for potentially significant list growth.
Which leads us to that final thought to chew on.
Yeah. Really consider, what could you do with a pool of targeted prospects that just keeps growing every single day, that you can reach out to easily?
How might that steady, kind of hands-off flow of leads change how you approach building your online business?
What possibilities does that consistency open up? That's really something to think about.